Reese Terrio here again with Fulcrum Sales and Marketing. We've been talking about the multiple steps in us working with you as a client. And ideally, we would first gather the right information. Who are we going to target and what's the value proposition? Then we start to build a set of tools around that. And then finally, once we have our information that we've gathered and the tooling in place, we're going to deploy the campaign. And so right now, I want to talk a little bit about what a campaign efficiency and effectiveness looks like. So an efficient and effective campaign does a couple different things. And so you may be asking yourself, well, how do we define efficiency in a sales and marketing campaign? And so the way you define efficiency is how smoothly and literally efficiently does a customer move from never hearing your message to becoming a new customer. So ideally, in a perfect world, it would work where you send out that email marketing campaign, they get your email, they click to your website, they see something compelling, they book an appointment with you, the salesperson gets on the appointment, has a good conversation, sends over the pricing, and they become a new customer within the matter of a couple days. Now, it really never happens that way, but that would be a most efficient campaign. An effective campaign may not be very efficient, but it's gonna get a lot of new customers in the door. And so the most efficient and the most effective campaign is the ultimate goal. How many steps do we need to take? Let's lower the amount of steps and the amount of work that we have to put into the campaign to yield the highest return, the highest number of new customers coming in. Now, there's 5 things you need to track in doing that. Number 1 is you wanna track the amount of activities you're actually having to conduct. So this is how many emails am I sending? How many social media posts am I making? How many blog posts am I writing? How many visitors to my website am I attracting? How many cold calls am I making? How many conversations am I having? So all of those activities need to be tracked. The second thing you want to track is how many conversations are you having and what are the takeaways from those conversations? Because those takeaways need to go back into the campaign. They need to fuel the message, right? Whether that be positive or negative. What don't people want to hear? And what do people respond well to? That needs to go back into the campaign. Number 3 is you want to measure what's the number of milestones that you are achieving. So if you think of the product or service that you're selling, your customer, your potential customer, is going to move through a set of milestones along their journey to buying your product. So maybe they, get introduced to your product or service by a friend. That's milestone number 1. Then they set an appointment with you, a discovery call, an introductory call with a salesperson. That's milestone number 2. And then they have a webinar with their whole team. That's milestone number 3. And then they want a proposal. That's milestone number 4. And then finally, you submit the proposal and they accept it, and it's closed deal. So there's 5 milestones along that journey, right? And so how many milestones are you achieving? Is it 2 introductory calls a week with 5 proposal submissions a month? You want to understand how many customers are you moving through that set of milestones. And then the next one is how many, obviously this is a pretty obvious one, but how many deals are you closing? And more importantly, why are you closing those deals? Or why are you not closing those deals? The feedback between those is essential to you being effective in the future. Number 5 is the cost of it all, right? So you can never really effectively measure your return on your investment in your sales and marketing effort if you really don't understand the cost associated with all of that. And so here at Fulcrum Sales and Marketing, we want to help you do those 5 things. We're going to track and do everything we can to make your campaign as efficient and effective as possible. We look forward to working with you in the future.